Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Let's Play Blasphemous. Welcome back to Custodia. Now, we're still, despite having played this for quite a while now, we still haven't done many of the bosses. We really need to sort that out, really. I've just been wandering around, activating stuff, setting things up for puzzles later on and for quest arcs later on. Really do need to get down and start killing some of those bosses, really, because that's what it's all about. That's what everyone is here for, let's be honest. The bosses in Blasphemous are wonderful. They're really well designed. They have that thing that Dark Souls bosses have, where they kind of suggest background and mythology, which is just by their design and just by the way they operate, which is gorgeous. That's wonderful. Oh, hello. Indeed, it is the groan. It comes from the deepest core of this place, slithering in spirals, growing with its own echo, distorting amidst the bronze embossings. The cry of three intertwined throats, born of a single penance, a single mourning. Light hardly ever reaches here, only the cold and the groan. That's a very oblique clue for a character quest arc, which is buried very, very deep down here. We need to find 3 items out in the main world, and that will allow us to complete that particular quest arc. We will be doing that one because it's fun. There is a beautiful monster, a beautiful creature that we will see as a result of completing that quest. I love how deep and strange this whole area is. The fact that it's buried underneath Hondo, and you've got to do the main puzzle of Hondo in order to access it. You get the impression that this is one of the older places in Custodia, one of the more forbidden places, and I rather like that. Deep, deep underground. Aha! Very useful. Very useful indeed. The addition of these teleporters and the ability to teleport between the shrines as well is very useful. Very useful indeed. One thing we are going to feel down here is the weight of the penance that we've got on at the moment. The one that means that the enemies reset... Oh shit, these things. The enemies reset every time we leave a room. That's going to be rather difficult down here. There are lots of very, very tricky enemies in this area. And a very tricky boss indeed. In fact, I would say the boss in this area is probably my least favourite in the entire game. It's my least favourite because it's a little glitchy. It's not as well designed or as well programmed as pretty much every other boss in the game. It relies on a lot of luck. That's part of the problem. It relies on a great deal of luck as to whether you defeat it or not, and that's a little problematic for a game like this. Also, if you watch my first playthrough of Blasphemous, which was from a while ago back now, you'll see that I don't even defeat it. There's a glitch that happens and it just dies. It's really strange. I'm on the verge of losing to it, and then a glitch occurs and suddenly I'm teleported to the bottom of its chamber and the boss is dead. You don't even see its... Oh, hello, Escribar. How are you? You don't even see its ending. All you see is a flash and the boss dies. It's really strange. I haven't had that since, but I have had a few other glitches with it. Okay. Oh, there are spike pits to either side on this one. Okie dokie. Oh dear. So there are going to be lots of enemies with knockback, I imagine, in this one. If I remember correctly. Yup. I'm imagining there's going to be lots of those the bell ringing guys from Hondo. Yes, these gentlemen. Because when these guys knock you back, they really knock you back. In fact, if we get a hit from him, I imagine we're automatically going to go flying back into the spikes. So, yeah, going to have to be careful with this one. They've also got a weird hitbox, those guys. You've got to be very, very careful with them because their hitbox is square. Despite the fact that they are obviously rounded like a bell, right? So you've got to be conscious of the corners of the square, because if it does hit you, you will go flying backwards. Ooh, we may not survive this one. Oh, that can't be the last one, surely. No, I was going to say, that cannot be the last one. Tricky. Got to be sequential about this. The spectres have got to go first, because they're going to harass us ad infinitum unless we get rid of them. beautiful creatures, beautiful monsters. They look a little bit like Nighthaunt from Age of Sigmar, do they not? I would like to do like a Nighthaunt army, or maybe just some Nighthaunt miniatures based on them. That'd be fun. Oh, these things! These phantoms are very strange. In order to defeat them, you've got to riposte them, because they become solid momentarily. I don't know whether you're going to see it in this video, but I've noticed that... I don't know whether it's with the new update or whether it's a new thing. Oh shit, well, I'll get right back there. I don't know whether it's a new thing, but they are slightly glitched out. I've had a thing happening with them where after they've been riposted, they've been frozen in a particular cycle of animation. We'll see if it happens. Very peculiar. I love these chambers. The swirling embers in the background, it's beautiful. And the dunes in the background as well, the desert. That, I'd assume, is the Desert of Dreaming that we see after we defeat each of the bosses, when we face the Visage of Gold. It's sort of, I don't know, it seems to be the transitional space between what they call this world and the Dreaming. What that means is anyone's guess. Maybe it will get a little bit more explanation or simply exposure in Blasphemous 2 when that finally comes out. Very much looking forward to that, by the way. I mean, we know they're keeping it very close to their chests, that we know nothing about it at the moment, absolutely nothing. All we know is that it is happening. The developers have been posting that it is in production. What it will be, how it will transpire, I have no idea. But they've earned a lot of faith with this game. I mean, Blasphemous has been a stunning experiment, it really has. It's put the studio on the map, that's for damn sure. And it has also, I mean, with things like the free updates, which are massive and which fundamentally change the game, which many other studios would charge you for, it's developed a lot of good faith. You know, it's I think what happened there, my controller disconnected for a moment there. That's why I was just standing in the way of the damn thing. Yeah, I have a lot of faith in this studio. I sincerely hope Blasphemous 2 is a success. I really do. And I don't just mean like a monetary success, I mean in terms of the mythology and providing a little bit more on Custodia and its metaphysics. You know, it's one of those worlds where it's so much fun being in it and experiencing it. I want to know more. I want to know what it's about. It's very like Lothric and Lordran and whatnot in that regard. And indeed Yharnam. I mean, I suppose in a way, but you know, I am a horror writer and a horror fan. It's almost tailor-made for me, isn't it? I do really enjoy Detesttatio Seccorum, indeed, indeed. No idea what it means, but fine. Yay! Tears of Atonement. And now the thorn around our wrist is going to grow and sprout and make us bleed a little bit more. Yay! The Thorny Briar. Fantastic. I love the name of this place as well. Grievance Ascends. What a beautiful name. Although in our instance it doesn't ascend, it descends. We're going down. I love the little detail. I mean, I mentioned it last time, but I love the little detail of how every time you hit them their bell rings. I think that's really cool. Oh, Flea Man equivalent. Not the Flea Man, obviously, because that's for Castlevania, and this is not Castlevania. No matter how much it might resemble it. Oh, hello. What might you be, then? Oh my god, this would be absolutely lethal if you didn't have the appropriate relic. Even with the appropriate relic, it's actually quite tricky. Ooh, we're on right on the edge here. I love these enemies that seem to be spectral and that seem to be in mourning. I think that's absolutely wonderful, because a lot of the enemies, despite their condition, seem to be celebratory. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. The more of those we get, the better. I mean, in the playthrough I'm doing in my own game, in my home Let's Play, that's it. That's the glitch. She's stuck. She can't do anything, and I can't hit her, so we can't actually get out. I will reset and come back. That's happening a lot at the minute. Okay, right. I'm back. Yes, in my home Let's Play, I've actually beaten the bosses for the new add-on, the ossuary boss and the boss from Echoes of Salt, and my god, they are the hardest bosses in this game actually, the one from Echoes of Salt is... just wait till you see it. It looks incredible. It's one of the most beautiful bosses visually in this game, and also it is the hardest boss by a country mile. It makes the likes of Escribar look like child's play by comparison. I had to use a lot of kind of dirty tricks to defeat it. Ultimately what I did was I built up the Penitent one. It was basically a mana build. It was basically kind of a mana build. I had to abuse a particular prayer, or hymn, or whatever they're called, the spells, basically. I had to abuse a particular one of them in order to defeat the boss. Otherwise, I honestly don't know how you do it. It is so tanky. It's so difficult. It really is like the ultimate Blasphemous challenge, and they've clearly designed it to be that. It's what it's supposed to be, right? But yeah, it's amazing. There's lots of other stuff as well. I mean, I'm going to show you everything in this new add-on. There's some really weird stuff coming down the line that I had no idea was in it. There's all this sort of weird speedrun challenge stuff later on, which is really quite fun. It just adds a new note and a new element to the game. Okay, you have to be careful down here. There are a lot of secrets, and it's very difficult. It's very easy to miss them. Okay, you can see what's going to happen here, right? Yeah, of course. They're like little challenge rooms, effectively. They won't let you out until you've defeated all the enemies in an appropriate and timely manner. I love those spectres. I think they're really, really beautiful enemies. And it's nice that they introduce a slight note of tactics as well. You have to riposte, otherwise you're not going to defeat them. And where you've got two like this, you actually have to time it really well, because you have to use the invincibility cycle of the riposte animation in order not to get hit by the other enemies. It's really interesting. It's the kind of trick that is much more common in the likes of Dark Souls or in Bloodborne in particular. One of the things you've got to learn to do in Bloodborne is use the invincibility cycle of your roll or your dodge, especially when you're fighting the bosses. Okay, what's this? I'm assuming this is going to be a bone, a relic. Yeah, frontal of Martinus the Rope Maker. Artisan Martinus Hafnia was unjustly accused of selling brittle strings and sentenced to be hanged with one of his creations. That very sad day he regained his honor. Ha! They're gallows little jokes, aren't they? That's what I like about them. There is a real gallows humor in this game. It's very dry. It's very dark and bleak, but it is definitely there. It's the same species of satirical humour that you find in, say, Warhammer 40,000, you know? Where everything is so overt and extreme in its grim darkness that you can't help but take it as a satire. Although, you know, as we all know, and as Games Workshop themselves put out a statement about not too long ago, there are those who either A, don't get the satire, or don't understand its import, or just simply try to undermine it, you know, for their own political reasons. I mean, I shit you not, there are Trump supporters out there who created a statue of Trump as the Emperor of Mankind from Warhammer 40,000. Not either, I mean, they cannot have understood the irony inherent there. Surely they cannot have understood the irony inherent. Or maybe it's just lost on them. I mean, you know, I don't, not to indulge in stereotypes or anything like that, but I don't place much faith in the literary chutzpah of Trump supporters. I'll be perfectly honest. Their ability to appreciate metaphor and irony is probably quite lacking. Anywho, that's enough of that. Let's get back to Blasphemous. Let's get back to Custodia. And its particular species... Where's she gone? Oh, okay. She seems to have teleported herself out. That's fine. I'll take that. Oh no, there she is. That was weird. And now she's not coming back again. Yeah, I don't know whether it's something to do with this new update or whether they've always been like it, but they're a little bit glitchy these days, the Phantoms. There we go. That's a bit better. I've also managed, by the way, ladies and gents, to finally procure my PlayStation 5. So you'll be seeing a little bit more next-gen stuff coming up very soon. First Let's Play I'm definitely going to do. You can guess. You get 3 guesses, and if your first guess isn't Demon Souls, then you know. You obviously haven't been with this channel for very long. Yeah, Demon Souls is definitely going to be the first game I play. Simply because I've never played it before. I never played the original. I came into that series well late on. Bloodborne was the first of those games that I played, so very, very, very late on for the series. I didn't play like Dark Souls until much later. Oh, hello, this is useful. I didn't play Dark Souls until much later, and the first Dark Souls I played was Dark Souls 3. So I played them all out of sync. I played Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, then Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne first, and now I'm playing Demon Souls, the very first of those games, last, before I play Elden Ring, which is in the appropriate place. But I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't know much about it. I've seen little bits of Demon Souls, I've seen a few videos about it, and I know that it's markedly different from Dark Souls, being sort of the progenitor of those games, so I'm very, very much looking forward to it. The remake looks amazing. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm wondering now, are they going to remake Bloodborne for the PS5? I mean, that is surely something they're considering. Surely that is something they're considering, because it will sell. I mean, it will sell like hotcakes. I mean, Bloodborne is a phenomenon. It's an absolute phenomenon. I will buy it, despite the fact that I've played it 3 times on this bloody channel alone. I will buy it, and I will play it again, because there's nothing like Bloodborne. I miss Yharnam when I'm not there. I mean, that is one of the greatest compliments I can pay, not just to a video game, but to a piece of fiction. I adore created worlds, and if I miss it when I'm not there, then I think the creator has done their job beautifully. Custodia is the same. I think this is the character quest. So we need to find 3 of these bridal treasures and place them in the appropriate plate.
This torn ribbon, I reject his bond with my betrothed.
Betrothed. I don't know where that pronunciation came from. It's betrothed. You have no available offerings. No, I don't at the moment. Big hairy egg. I may call the video that. We shall see. We shall see. I may change the model of Penitent one we're using at some point too. I love this colour scheme. I think he looks great in this colour. Oh, hello. It's a cherub. I need to get you. Okay. What do I need? I need... Is it that one? No, it's this one, isn't it? There we are. That's more like it. Excellent. Oh, okay. So what I need to do is get underneath. There we are. Aha! We're actually doing very, very well for them. We may get them all this time round, which would be nice. My god, you definitely need the stone that makes you inured to poison in this area. I don't think you can even traverse it if you don't have it. In fact, I think on my first Let's Play, when I first discovered this area, I don't think I did have it. I had to go back through the game to find it. Well, that's a horrible configuration of not flea men, isn't it? just like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, I can really see Custodia being translated into other mediums. So a comic book, for example. A comic of Blasphemous, I think, would be wonderful. Hello. Actually, I don't have to fight you now, do I? If I don't want to. I don't think I have to fight them anyway. I'm gonna, though, because I like it. It's fun. I don't know why I've got to think about fighting the ghosts. There's something about the timing of them that's very satisfying. And their death animation is gorgeous, too. Well, that went well. Okay. Now, where am I going? Hello! I love the way the grievous miracle, when it has occurred, it's not just altered the people of Custodia, it's altered the land as well. It's become part of reality. That is a beautiful conceit to me. Taking what would be abstract and ideological in our own world and making it physical reality. Hello, this is new. This wasn't here. What the hell is that? Okay. A rose door. This is new. This is something new with the new add-on. Interesting. We'll have to come back here now, won't we? Look at the petals on the floor as well. Very interesting indeed. I'm gonna have to come back now. That's another thing that the add-ons do beautifully, because they add on entire quests. They oblige you to go wandering through Custodia again, so they extend the lifespan of the game in a very beautiful way, and not in an entirely synthetic way either, in a way that means something, because they all add into the story and the way the game ultimately turns out. So yeah, it's kind of wonderful. Hello. Quite frankly, I'm surprised I haven't had some strikes for Blasphemous, because there are certain images in it that YouTube does not like. It's not necessarily the violence or the mutilation or the grotesquerie that YouTube has a problem with. It's the... oh, melted? What do they do? I have no idea. It's the partial nudity of some of the characters. It's a bizarre... It's a very, very bizarre thing that moral... censors often demonstrate, where they've got more of a problem with the portrayal of the human body than they do with its mutilation or violence inflicted against it. It's really strange. As I discussed with Max Booth III on our video chat about Mary Whitehouse and her crusade, if you look back at Mary Whitehouse's crusade here in the UK against violence and horror and basically everything, she and her movement had no problem with war itself, with actual war. In fact, they were pro-war. They were massively pro-war if the UK was invading other countries, which it was at the time, because they felt that it was somehow conducive to some national identity. They had no problem with actual atrocity, but they did have a problem with, like, fictional atrocity. It's bizarre, right?
This might be a small price to pay for such joyous alliance.
I know, right? I love the way she ages every single time you meet her. It's very cool. I don't know what happens to her if you dissent. I don't think I've ever done that story arc. If you don't accept her help. I say her help, but as we discussed last time, she's utterly useless. It doesn't really do very much. Okay, this is the weird glitched out boss, which it relies on a lot of luck. As to whether you defeat it or not. It depends. The patterns of their attacks and of the platforms are largely random. They do have a pattern to a certain degree, but that pattern does change from fight to fight, right? So sometimes they will be in a particular position and casting particular attacks at a particular time when you just don't have the right configuration of platforms. And in that instance, you are not going to win. You're going to die. Very often, they will knock you off your perch with an attack and knock you straight into the fire that's rising from below. which is an instant death, by the way. They're also glitched out in other ways. Like I said, they often glitch out whereby they just die. It's a really strange thing. I don't know whether they've patched it out in the more recent add-ons and updates, but I've seen videos of other players, and I've had it myself, as I mentioned earlier, where they've bizarrely died for no reason. It's an odd boss, this one. A little gimmicky. It's a little bit gimmicky, and as a result, isn't quite as fun as a lot of the other bosses are. I find this boss, despite being one of the earliest bosses, this is usually the second boss. If you're playing the game through for the first time and you don't have all the gubbins that the penitent one can pick up along the way to open different paths and whatnot, this is usually the second boss. But it's harder than I would say most of the bosses that come later on. The vast majority of them anyway. With the exceptions of the new ones, obviously. The new bosses are absolutely brilliantly difficult. I mean, they're difficult because they are difficult, not because of any problem with their design or their programming or anything. They are just designed to be meat grinders, and they are. The ossuary boss, the boss that you fight in the ossuary, that one took me forever to defeat. It really did. Tres Augustius. Beautiful names. Beautiful names. The Augustine Trio, basically. Yeah, there we go. I like the fact that there are tree roots beneath, right? Very beautiful. Now that death animation I did not get the first time round. I didn't see that at all until my second playthrough. But there we are. That's the boss of Grievance Ascends. And that... Look at the statues. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Guilt has been expiated. Hasn't it just? Hasn't it just? I've got a coffee, by the way. Oh, another one of the saints. So I'd assume we're going to go back to the dreaming, yeah? And face a big floating head. Hello!
In the name of the great ordeal and the sons of the miracle, may the gold in my visage melt and erase the contrition of your soul.
Ah, so this is the contrition.
Heart of guilt, return now from the dream.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. The holy wound of contrition. Okay. Those glimpses of the dream are not, they're not heartening, are they? Okay, mark left by the golden visage that reveals the cleanliness of contrition in the soul of the penitent one. Okay. Santo Credo, verse 2. The miracle created the golden visages from the very fervour of the uncorrupted saints in order to preserve them eternal in the forbidden dream. 3 identical faces covered in torrid gold are the guardians of the 3 wounds in his holiness's soul. Right, okay. The forbidden dream. I mean, there are lots of verses and characters and bits of background that talk about passing on to the dream. A lot of characters are actually forbidden from passing on to the dream as a kind of punishment or penance. Pardon me, but I don't know. There is very little in the game about what that actually means. Oh, hello! How did you get down here?
Carried out the second humiliation of penance.
Are you just following me around everywhere?
You have been allowed to meet the visage of contrition.
With your pointy hat and your scrolls.
You have yet to prostrate before one last holy visage.
Which is ironically the one that most people fight first.
Sorrowful be the heart, penitent one.
You too, man, you too. I really like that as a sign-off. Sorrowful be the heart. I think it's really quite pretty. Oh, we're in the desecrated cistern. Well, that's good, because there are things we do need to find here. There's a relic here that I didn't get the first time round that's actually quite tricky to find. It's not that useful, actually. It's just fun to have. It's just a... It's an item tracker, effectively. It reveals hidden areas when you've got it equipped. Which can be useful. It can be useful, unless you kind of know where all the hidden areas are already. My god, this is a long lift. This is basically cutting out most of Grievance Ascends, right? Okay, so there is stuff down here. There's echoes of salt. Have I got the right thing on? Yeah. Because otherwise, if I don't have the right thing on, this is going to be a very swift death. Okie dokie. There we are. Excellent. So what's in here? Have I been in here already? Oh yeah, this is the number room, isn't it? We've already done this. But this is actually good. Oh, I need the toenail. I need to put the toenail on. There we go. My god, that is one of the best relics, I'm telling you. Ah, here we are. There's a little secret here. See where the rat went? Yeah. It's an arcade game of Blasphemous. How rockin' is that? Okay, you're gonna love this. Alcazar of Grief. This is 8-bit Blasphemous. And it's really cool. It's Castlevania. It plays exactly like Castlevania from the NES. And it's great fun. It is absolutely great fun. If this were a sincere like game from the 8-bit era, it would have been an absolute hit. I mean, what fun. I love the fact that there is a certain playfulness. I mean, the treasure chests coming up behind you like that, that is straight out of Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins. There are lots of secrets in this, and they're often quite difficult to find. No map. So this is just, you get basically one chance every time you play to get through the entire thing. And it's quite tricky. It is quite hard. Because you can't grasp onto ledges like you used to. Like you can in the main game. I mean, for an 8-bit game as well, it would have been very pretty, this. Very pretty indeed. It's got maybe 1 or 2 more colours than an 8-bit game otherwise would. But even so, it's impressive. It's the fact that it hits all the beats of an 8-bit game that's impressive beyond anything else. It feels like a sincere game from that era. Now, how do we get that? Oh, hello. See? Secret. Wouldn't have got that if I wasn't fucking about down here. Okay, so those aren't... we can't destroy those rocks. So do we have to come through from the other side? Is that it? Even the music sounds like a Castlevania track. It's awesome. I mean, kudos to the developers for putting in something like this. I mean, this is going to be a... Oh, no, that's not going to work. And we lost a bit of health there. I wonder if there are ways of actually getting more health in this game. Are there wall chickens or wall hams like there are in Castlevania, for example? Must say, this actually controls a lot better than most 8-bit games as well. I mean, funnily enough, in this game, the Penitent one is actually a little bit more maneuverable than he is in the main game. This is fantastic. I mean, oh, hello. What are they? Ah, yes, this chicken! Yay! That's brilliant. I mean, this is straight out of Castlevania. This is like exactly like when you get to like Dracula's castle, right? They've made such a sincere effort to capture a real 8-bit feeling. It's brilliant. And it's the NES. It's not the Master System or any of the other 8-bit systems. This is the NES through and through. Which, you know, given the, you know, Blasphemous is a Metroidvania, both of which were NES games originally, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. I wonder if there's a boss at the end of this. I don't know. Oh, hello. Do we have to get all of them? Don't know. Absolutely do not know. But if so, that's going to make it even more tricky, because I'll bet they're hidden everywhere. It's got the feeling of that, doesn't it? It feels like there are things hidden in the walls and secrets all over the damn place. There often were in these old NES games. But yeah, this is awesome. This is like a little bit of video game history, a bit of potted video game history for you. It's Blasphemous paying homage to its influences, right? Sincere brilliance. And it's a good 8-bit game too. That's what gets me. It's not even half-arsed. It's actually a good game. It didn't have to be as good as it is. Ahaha, hello. What are the skulls? What is that all about? Do we have to capture so many of those to get like the ending or something? Or something like that? The moving across the chandeliers, that is straight out of Castlevania 3 for the NES. I wonder if there's a clock tower. If there's a clock tower, then yeah, that would be just beyond Castlevania. Brilliant fun. Oh, is this a lift? Yeah, this is a lift. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Oh no. I remember levels like this from video games of the era, and they were always pains in the arse. I remember levels like this from similar platformers on my Commodore Amiga. Oh shit, we're down to our last life. Oh no! Oh! Well, I'll tell you what, my loves. We will come back to that. I will finish that, because that is amazing fun. Amazing fun. Yeah, I loved that. I loved that to bits. What brilliance. I wonder what you get if you finish it. There must be, I bet there's something special if you finish it, like I don't know, a prayer or something, and a special relic or something like that. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's carry on with our more serious business of, you know, revolutionizing the metaphysics of Custodia. Now that we've finished having a little bit of a bash at the arcade. Now, where are we going next? There is... we're actually quite close to the next boss, if I remember correctly. He's in... I think is he in Mercy Dreams, the next boss? I believe he is. Which is ironically usually the first boss that most people face. He should be relatively easy, considering that we're quite powered up for him. You're not normally this powerful or this well equipped when you face that boss. So he shouldn't be too bad, one hopes. I've said that now, of course. No? No secrets? Nothing? Ah, hello. Oh, the more of these we get, the better. I'm going to be going for maximum fervour in this playthrough, because I want as much fervour as I can get for when we face the Echoes of Salt boss and the Ossuary boss. It's going to make them possible. Let's put it that way. They are, I mean, most of the bosses in Blasphemous, you don't really need to use any fancy tricks for. You just got to learn the patterns of them, and that's it. Those two bosses, no, you need tactics in order to defeat them. Lovely. Shower o' blood. I love how over the top the arterial spray is from their necks. That's just gross and fun. Where are we? Oh, here we are. Right, I see where we are now. I can open up this shortcut a little bit. Very nice. Ew. The way they bubble into filth is just gross. Mountains of the Endless Dusk. We've done pretty much everything there, I think. If I remember off the top of my head. Everything we need to for this playthrough anyway. There is normally a boss fight there when you face the... I can't remember her name, but the sister of the knight that you face on the bridge. Of course, we don't need to in this playthrough because we're actually doing a quest for her. So we're not going to be fighting her in this playthrough. We found where her corpse resides. And we're going to be trying to put her to rest. Oh, hello. Another relic, I would assume. Humorous of McMittens, the nurse! A nurse and cat lover, McMittens saved countless lives, human and others. Alright, unable to bear saving those who showed no respect for life, he put an end to his own. Oh, that's kind of sad. That's not quite as humorous as I thought it might be. Aha. Oh, here we are. Excellent. Oh, that's very cool. I do love the way this game goes together. I mean, that is part of the joy of Metroidvanias. It always has been. The interlinking of the world and the way it sort of cycles around, so you get shortcuts. I think amongst the sort of Dark Souls games, the best games in that regard are Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne. The way their worlds fit together and the different areas feed into one another is nothing short of genius. I love the way it's done in Dark Souls 2 and 3 as well. In 2, the world doesn't go together quite as succinctly, but that's very deliberate. That's not a mistake. That's actually quite deliberate. It's designed to show you that, here's the other relic, that world is more dreamlike, that the severed hand. Excellent. It can't use it yet. A severed hand that tightly grasps a broken bell, sometimes afflicted by slight spasms. The affliction sometimes leaves its mark on mundane-looking objects, unable to reveal the miracle under its mantle of corruption. How very peculiar. As soon as the atrocious earth tremor was heard, they knew something dreadful had happened. They searched for their master in the deepest parts of the cave, where they were met with a gigantic dust cloud that extended far beyond their eyes, and even though they called the name of their master, there were no answers. Days went by until the cloud cleared and they could face the devastating consequences of the landslide. Feeling hopeless, but suddenly, amidst their tears, they heard a faraway sound. The little stories of Custodia that are in the relics are just wonderful. They're all largely just flavour. There's nothing else to them, but they are very, very pretty. And I love the way they build the mythos of this world. It's absolutely wonderful. But yeah, the world of Dark Souls 2, Drangleic, it's not designed to go together. It's not designed to be as coherent as the others. It's supposed to be incoherent. It's supposed to be an almost nightmare-like or dreamlike space. So you get transitions in Dark Souls 2 that don't necessarily make sense. Like, in one area you climb up through, I believe it's through a tree if I remember correctly, and you end up in the fiery Iron Keep. There's no way it should be where it is. It doesn't make any sense, but it is. It's there. You get a similar thing happening in the latter portions of Bloodborne, where reality breaks down. Certainly in the Old Hunters, you get that, where you ascend up through different layers of space and different layers of dreaming. I mean, you really start to notice it when you ascend through the old clock tower in the Old Hunters. and you end up in the Sea of Dreams. It's really bizarre. Custodia has that element as well. Definitely, there are areas here where reality is breaking down. That's for damn sure. Anywho, when we come back, my loves, we will do the last of the first 3 bosses, and maybe move on to deeper mysteries. Until then, bye bye.